The glass of red wine hit the white tablecloth like a slap. Emma froze. Victor Blackwood didn't even look up from his phone. "Clean it," he said, "and bring me another. Something you can actually carry this time." The entire restaurant went silent. Emma's hands trembled as she reached for the napkins. 23 years old, 2 jobs, student loans drowning her. And now this. If you've ever been humiliated in public, you need to hear what happens next. Stay until the end because this man's world is about to shatter in ways he never saw coming. Victor was worth $3 billion. He owned half the city, restaurants, hotels, real estate empires that touched the clouds. He'd built everything himself, or so he told everyone. Tonight was supposed to be simple. Dinner with investors. Close the deal on the waterfront property. Add another 0 to his net worth. But Emma had bumped his chair while serving the table behind him. One small accident. His $1,500 suit now had a wine stain the size of a fist. "Do you have any idea what you done, Xiao?" Victor stood up. 6'2". Custom Italian shoes. A watch worth more than Emma's car. Emma's voice came out smaller than she wanted. "I'm so sorry, sir. I'll pay for the cleaning. You'll what?" He laughed. Cold. Sharp. "You make what, minimum wage? You couldn't afford to breathe the same air as this suit." The other diners shifted in their seats. Emma felt tears burning behind her eyes, but refused to let them fall. Not here, not in front of him. "I said I'm sorry." Her voice steadier now. "It was an accident." "Accidents have consequences." Victor pulled out his wallet. He threw a $20 bill on the wet table. "That should cover your tip for the month. Now get out of my sight." The manager appeared from nowhere. "Mr. Blackwood, please, I apologize for—" "Fire her," Victor said, "or I pull my investment from this place. Your choice." Emma's heart stopped. She needed this job. Rent was due in 4 days. Her little brother's medication cost $300 a month. "Mr. Blackwood," the manager stammered, "surely we can, don't repeat myself." Emma untied her apron with shaking hands. She looked Victor Blackwood directly in the eyes. "You know what's sad?" she said quietly. "You have everything, and you're still miserable." She walked out, head high, even as her world crumbled behind her. Victor returned to his phone like nothing happened. The investors laughed nervously. The deal got signed. Another victory for Victor Blackwood. He forgot about Emma before dessert arrived. But Emma wouldn't forget him. 3 days later, Emma stood outside Riverside Elementary School, her other job, the one that actually mattered. She taught 2nd grade. 24 kids who didn't care that her shoes had holes or that she'd been fired from the restaurant. They just wanted to learn, to feel safe, to be seen. Emma wiped her eyes and walked inside. "Miss Carter!" A small voice echoed down the hallway. Lily Blackwood ran toward her, 7 years old, blonde pigtails, gap-toothed smile that could light up the darkest room. "Guess what? My daddy said he's finally coming to parent-teacher night." Emma's stomach dropped. "Your daddy?" "Yeah. He's super busy, but he promised. He promised he'd come see my classroom." Emma's mind raced. Blackwood. Victor Blackwood. No, it couldn't be. "That's wonderful, Lily," Emma managed. "I'm sure he'll be very proud of you." Lily beamed and skipped away. Emma leaned against the wall. Of all the children, of all the families. Of course. That evening, Emma researched everything she could find about Victor Blackwood's personal life. He was divorced. His ex-wife had full custody. He saw Lily twice a month. Maybe. The tabloids called him a workaholic, a shark, a man who valued buildings more than people. Emma looked at Lily's file. Brilliant child. Top of her class. But the notes from previous teachers told a different story. Anxiety, attention-seeking behavior, desperate for approval, especially from her father. Emma closed the file. She had 2 weeks until parent-teacher night. 2 weeks to prepare. 2 weeks to decide if she'd say anything about the restaurant. The days blurred together. Emma threw herself into teaching. Lily flourished in class. The girl was hungry for knowledge, for validation, for someone to notice her. Emma noticed. She stayed late helping Lily with her reading, celebrated every small victory, gave her the attention she craved. "Miss Carter," Lily said one afternoon, "do you think my daddy will like my project?" She'd made a diorama of the solar system. Every planet labeled, every detail perfect. "He's going to love it," Emma said, but she wondered if Victor Blackwood would even look at it. Parent-teacher night arrived like a storm. Emma wore her best dress, the one with the small stain she'd tried to hide with a cardigan. Parents filtered in, smiling, asking questions, praising their children. Then the door opened. Victor Blackwood stepped inside, tailored charcoal suit, same cold expression, same phone in his hand. He didn't recognize Emma. Not at first. "Mr. Blackwood," Emma extended her hand. "I'm Miss Carter, Lily's teacher." He shook it without looking up from his screen. "Right. How's she doing? Perhaps we should sit down." Victor sighed. Like this was an inconvenience. Like his daughter's education was another meeting to endure. They sat. Lily stood nearby with her diorama, nervous, excited, waiting for her father to see. "Lily is exceptional," Emma began. "Her reading level is 2 grades ahead. Her math skills are—" "That's great." Victor glanced at his watch. "Listen, I have a call in 10 minutes. Can we speed this up?" Emma's jaw tightened. "Your daughter worked very hard on something to show you." "I'm sure she did. Lily, honey, Daddy's proud of you. Now, look at it," Emma said, her voice sharp enough to cut. Victor finally looked up. His eyes met hers. Recognition flickered across his face. "You," he said. "Me," Emma replied. The air between them crackled. Lily looked confused. "You know each other?" "We've met," Emma said carefully. "Once." Victor's face hardened. "This is inappropriate. I want a different teacher for my daughter." "Daddy?" Lily's voice broke. "Not now, Lily." "But my project—" "I said not now." The classroom went silent. Other parents stared. Lily's eyes filled with tears. She dropped the diorama. It shattered on the floor. Planets scattered everywhere. Emma knelt beside Lily. "Hey, it's okay. We can fix it. It's beautiful." "He didn't even look at it," Lily whispered. Victor stood up. "We're leaving." "Mr. Blackwood," Emma rose to her feet. "Can we talk outside?" "There's nothing to discuss." "I think there is." Something in Emma's tone made him stop. They stepped into the hallway. The door closed behind them. "How dare you?" Victor started. "How dare I what?" Emma crossed her arms. "Teach your daughter? Care about her? Actually show up for her? You don't know anything about my life. I know you fired me for spilling wine. I know you humiliated me in front of dozens of people. I know you threw money at me like I was garbage." Victor's jaw worked. That was business. "That was cruelty," Emma shot back. "And now I see where it comes from. You're so busy building your empire that you can't even see your own daughter falling apart. You're out of line." "Am I?" "When's the last time you had a real conversation with Lily? When's the last time you asked her about her day? Her dreams? Her fears? I provide for her. She has everything she needs. Except a father." The words hung between them like smoke. Victor's face went red. "You have no right." "I have every right. I'm her teacher. And that little girl in there? She worships you. She talks about you constantly. She made that project hoping you'd notice her. Just once. Victor looked away. For the first time, Emma saw something crack in his armor. I'm busy, he said quietly. I'm building something. For her future. She doesn't need a future. She needs you now. Silence. Heavy. Suffocating. You think I don't know that? Victor's voice dropped. You think I don't see it? Then why? He ran a hand through his hair. For a moment, he looked tired. Human. Because I don't know how, he admitted. I never had a father. I built everything from nothing. I know how to make money, how to close deals, how to win. But this? He gestured toward the classroom. I don't know how to do this. Emma's anger softened, just slightly. It's not complicated, she said. You just show up. You listen. You look at her diorama and tell her it's amazing. What if I fail? What if you don't try? Victor looked at the classroom door. Through the window, he could see Lily, still crying, still picking up pieces of broken planets. She thinks I don't care, he said. Do you? More than anything. Then show her. Victor took a breath. He opened the door, walked back inside, knelt down next to his daughter. Lily. She didn't look at him. Lily, I'm sorry. Her small shoulders shook. I was wrong. I should have looked at your project. I should have listened. I should have been here. Lily finally looked up. You're always busy. I know. And that's my fault. Not yours. Never yours. He picked up a piece of Jupiter. Tell me about this one. Lily sniffled. That's Jupiter. It's the biggest planet. It has a storm that's been going for hundreds of years. That's incredible. Did you paint this yourself? She nodded. It's beautiful, Lily. You're so talented. Something shifted in her face. Hope, fragile, precious. You really think so? I know so. Victor spent the next hour with his daughter, listening. Really listening. Emma watched from across the room. Other parents came and went, but Victor stayed. He asked questions, laughed at Lily's jokes, helped her glue the planets back together. When parent-teacher night ended, Lily hugged her father, tight, like she was afraid he'd disappear. Can we do this again? She asked. Every week, Victor promised. I'll make time. I swear. After Lily left with Victor's ex-wife, he turned to Emma. Thank you, he said. For what? For not giving up on her, or on me. Emma nodded. She's special. You should know that. I'm starting to. Victor reached into his jacket, pulled out an envelope. What's this? A check. For the restaurant. For your job. For... I don't want your money, Emma said. Then what do you want? I want you to keep your promise to Lily. That's all. Victor looked at the envelope, then tore it up. Fair enough. He started to leave, then stopped. Miss Carter? Yes? I was wrong about you. At the restaurant. You're not... He struggled for words. You're not what I thought. Neither are you, Emma said softly. 6 months later, Emma stood in her classroom. A new semester, new students, new challenges. But Lily was still there, thriving, confident, happy. Victor came to every parent-teacher night, every school play, every science fair. He'd cut back his hours, sold one of his companies, started a foundation for underprivileged students. In Emma's name. She'd refused at first, but he'd insisted. You changed my life, he'd said. Let me do the same for others. The foundation helped hundreds of kids, scholarships, tutoring programs, after-school care. Emma still taught, still worked 2 jobs for a while. But Victor had made sure she never had to choose between rent and her calling. He'd paid off her student loans, anonymously at first, but she'd figured it out. They'd fought about it. She'd called him controlling. He'd called her stubborn. They'd both been right, but somewhere in those arguments something else grew. Respect, understanding, friendship. One evening, Victor picked up Lily from school. Emma walked them out. "Miss Carter," Lily said, "my daddy wants to ask you something." "Lily," Victor's face flushed. "That was supposed to be a secret." "Oops," she giggled. Emma raised an eyebrow. "What is it?" Victor cleared his throat. "Would you like to have dinner sometime, not as a teacher and parent, just as—" "Friends?" Emma offered. "I was hoping for more than friends. Eventually. Maybe. If you—" "Yes," Emma said. Victor blinked. "Yes? Yes. I'll have dinner with you." Lily squealed and jumped up and down. "Does this mean Miss Carter will be my mommy?" "Lily!" Both adults shouted at once. The little girl laughed and ran to the car. Emma and Victor looked at each other. "She's quite the matchmaker," Emma said. "She gets it from me. I'm very determined when I want something." "I've noticed." They stood there, two people from different worlds, connected by a spilled glass of wine and a 7-year-old girl with pigtails. "I'm not the same person I was that night," Victor said. "You showed me that cruelty isn't strength, that money can't buy what matters, that I was losing the only thing that mattered while chasing things that don't." "And you showed me something too," Emma replied. "What?" "That people can change, if they want to, if they're willing to try." Victor smiled, really smiled. Not the cold, calculated expression from the restaurant. Something genuine. "So," he said, "Friday night? 7 o'clock? Make it 6:30. I have papers to grade at 8. 6:30 it is." He walked to his car, turned back. "Emma?" "Yeah? Thank you for giving me a second chance. Thank you for taking it." Years later, Emma would tell the story at their wedding, about the glass of wine, about the humiliation, about the moment everything changed. Victor would add his part, about the teacher who saved him from himself, about the daughter who reminded him what love looked like, about the woman who taught him that wealth meant nothing without heart. Lily would be the flower girl, crying happy tears, dancing with both of them, her family, finally complete. But that night, standing in the school parking lot, they were just two people, learning to see each other, really see each other. Not a billionaire and a waitress, not a parent and a teacher, just two souls finding their way home. The glass of wine that started everything was long forgotten, but the lesson it taught remained, that sometimes our lowest moments become our greatest teachers, that cruelty can transform into kindness, that pride can become humility, that emptiness can become fullness, if we're brave enough to change, if we're humble enough to learn, if we're open enough to love. Emma locked her classroom and walked to her car. Tomorrow she'd teach 24 children. Tomorrow she'd grade papers and plan lessons. Tomorrow she'd continue shaping young minds. But tonight, she'd changed a life. Maybe 2, maybe 3, counting Lily. The stars came out above the city. Victor's empire stretched across the skyline, buildings with his name, success measured in dollars. But inside one of those buildings, in a corner office, sat a picture. Recent edition. Lily holding her solar system project, Victor kneeling beside her, both of them smiling, really smiling. That picture was worth more than every deal he'd ever closed. Emma drove home that night thinking about dinner on Friday, about second chances, about the strange way the universe works, how a moment of humiliation became a doorway to something beautiful. She thought about all the students she'd taught, all the lives she'd touched. But Victor and Lily were different. They touched her right back, changed her, reminded her why she'd become a teacher in the first place, not for the money, not for recognition. But for moments like these, when everything clicks, when walls come down, when hearts open, when families heal, the world spins on, restaurants fill and empty, businesses rise and fall. But love, real love, the kind that sees past mistakes, past pride, past everything we build to protect ourselves, that love endures, that love transforms, that love saves us, even when we don't deserve it, especially when we don't deserve it. Emma parked her car, walked up to her small apartment, fed her cat, made tea, sat by the window. Somewhere across the city, Victor tucked Lily into bed, read her a story, kissed her forehead, kept his promise. And in that moment, both of them felt something they'd been searching for. Peace, purpose, connection. The things money can never buy. The things that matter most. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes the people who seem the hardest are just the most broken. And sometimes all it takes is one person brave enough to see through the armor to the soul underneath. Subscribe for more stories that remind us what it means to be human, to fail, to grow, to love, to become who we're meant to be.